Hey guys, welcome back to CT1.
And Ryan?
I'm Sophia, and welcome back to our channel. Before we start, we want to make sure to remind you guys to like this video.
And comment down below what you want to see next.
Also, our Instagram will be linked in the description below, so make sure to go and follow that. Now, let's get into the video.
Hi, I'm Beau McKnight. I'm going into 11th grade at ESD. I was new in 7th grade, and yeah, I play lacrosse and field hockey at ESD.
So, Beau, just some questions for you. I think we're gonna start with you. So you started in 7th grade at ESD, so you were at another school before that. So what was that transition like for you?
Well, I used to sorry. I used to live in California. So I had to move like way across the country. I had to go to a new school with a bunch of people I didn't know. And it was really scary at first, but my school that I was coming to is so welcoming. And it was during COVID, so it was hard, but I made a lot of friends through like sports and stuff that like I did outside of school, but still like with people within the ESD community.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My question for you was actually surrounding your move from California, because I went through a similar process, moving from LA. So would you say that there's like any specific differences between the California school scene and Texas at all?
Well, I was in middle school and kind of like lower school in California. Like 7th grade was like a good transition year, I thought, because everyone's kind of figuring out who they are. Um, so I thought that California schools, I mean, it was so different because I had known these people my whole life. And so I had been like, I was like born into that community.
Mhm.
And so like being born into a community and then shifting to a community where a bunch of other people have grown up together can be hard because I have all these memories and like lifelong friends. So I think that the main difference was that California schools were kind of like they also didn't have it wasn't like K through 12. Like it was all like kindergarten through 8th grade.
Mhm.
So I would have had to apply to a new high school, change up everything. So the dynamic was different with schools. But here, one of like the things I was looking forward to with the Texas school structure was that I could go to a school and stay with the same people through high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, and then I have a question. So when it comes to just switching to the topic of social scenes, kind of, um, I guess like the general question is what are like the social differences that you've seen just versus middle school, versus upper school, especially since you've gone to the same school for that amount of time?
Um, I think that middle school was definitely like a lot of stuff changes in middle school. Like you have a new group of friends every year. You're like new people are coming in all the time. But then in high school, I think that like things start to solidify and it can
Yeah.
get like clicky. But I think that at my school, it still does a good job of like everyone knows everyone and everyone's
Mhm.
nice to everyone. I mean, and I think that like what's really nice about ESD and that I love about high school compared to middle school is how all the grades are friends. Like I had a ton of like senior friends graduate because I played sports with them. And so I feel like it's kind of like a family, which
Mhm.
is really nice.
Yeah, perfect. That's all. I mean, um, how have the schools that you've gone to, would you say, like shaped your experience, your schooling experience?
My California school was very much like it taught me how to be kind to everyone. Um, and just very like, I mean, the mission statement of the school was very based on like loving everyone. And so I learned that there and then came to ESD and I've learned so many life skills at ESD that I can really translate into the real world.
Mhm.
I felt like my California school taught me a bunch of stuff like how to be nice to people, all that stuff, all the basics. And then shifting to ESD, I started to learn stuff that I can use like when I'm older and can like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then we're gonna ask you some more questions towards the end, but I think right now we're gonna move on to Esty. So you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name's Estee Vines. I came to ESD just last year, and I do cheer and lacrosse.
Awesome. All right. You want to go
Yeah,
ask?
okay. How has the transition from an all-girls school to a co-ed school, like how has it been just in general?
It was honestly a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I had like some people telling me I was going to think it's weird. Um, but like as I've been at ESD, I've gotten more comfortable with it and used to it. It was a little bit of a change, but nothing too crazy now.
Good. Yeah. Um, Kind of going along the lines of that a little bit. Are there any like differences you've noticed? You say you do cheer and lacrosse. So are there like just any differences you've noticed when it comes to sports a little bit?
I think the idea of community is a lot stronger on the sports side at this school. I've made a lot of friendships from sports. And while I had that at my other school, I think that they're a little easier to come by at ESD.
Okay. Same question for you. How have the schools that you've been at shaped your experience?
I think at the school I was before ESD, I learned about hard work and how to have a good work ethic and stay organized. And then I think I carried that on over to ESD and then helped myself find a balance. So I wasn't always just super stressed and working all the time. Like I was able to cultivate relationships with other people and have a whole high school experiences that are like surrounded by all school and fun and hanging out with people.
Yeah. And then same question as well with the social scene. What have you just noticed, especially since you transitioned from an all-girl school to a co-ed? What's the social scene kind of been like?
I think that honestly, all girls in co-ed, I don't really think it affects. I think it's just like the people that are in the grade that make the difference. And I found that in this grade, everyone's awesome, so sweet, so welcoming and kind, and they always just want to like be with everyone. And I think there's groups, but there are close groups, and it's in a good way. Like you have your close friends, and you go to them when you need them, and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Those were all the questions that we have individually, I think.
Yeah. So now I think just kind of
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So kind of like our final questions. Do either one of you first. What would be your best academic advice for students, especially coming into high school?
I
You go.
I a lot of people say this all the time, but it's so true. Like going and seeing your teachers, having a relationship with them is so helpful. It not only gives you confidence and like having a relationship and support from your teacher, but it also shows that you really care and shows that you want to work hard for that teacher. And I think that that's probably one of the most important things.
Yeah, I agree.
I would definitely say not being too hard on yourself, especially at ESD. Things can change so much with your grade in like a day. So if you get a bad grade and like you're feeling down about it, like don't think like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to recover about this. Like I can like now just get a good grade on my next thing and I can just keep going and like get my grade up. I think that it's important to have like confidence because when you have confidence when you're like taking tests or doing your homework, like just that helps even if you're not like completely understanding the material. I think having confidence can make you better.
Yeah. And then also on the kind of path of advice, what would be the best social advice you could give to someone?
I think definitely at ESD involving yourself in anything that you like, whether it's like an art class, an elective, a sport, theater, whatever, choir, anything is so helpful because I didn't make my friends through like saying hi to people and like obviously people were welcoming in school, but I made most of my friends through like ESD sports. Like I made all of them through lacrosse and that's kind of those same people have stayed with me as like my best friends today. So I think putting yourself out there, even if it's not something that you love already, but just trying new things and joining something like a small group of people where you can like make friendships on the side is super important to being successful socially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Bo. I think it's important to have those friendships and those groups and also just being a generally like outgoing person and wanting to go and talk to more people and putting yourself out there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Has
Well, Thank you, girls, so much for coming on here, and thank you to everyone watching. Come back next week for our next episode, and bye.
Bye.